a sense of capital.
Aloha, lads and gents. Welcome back to a new episode of A Sense of Capital Life Earnings. Your host of today, as always, is Julian. I'm very glad that all of you have joined. Let me quickly check. Parallelly, if sound is working, I want to offer you best quality experience you can have. Yeah, sounds good. So I can detach them, switch them off. And guys, if you already maybe recognized, I'm sitting here with a scarf. I'm hit quite heavily by flu, so today I will really keep the live earnings session very, very short. Oh, I see the stream is a bit lagging, bit shaking. Might be my internet connection. However, no stopping here. I hope the sound at least is good, and that is what all counts. Again, guys, I will keep it very short today. I will not talk about heavily details or introduce you very comprehensively about to the company which we will back today, which is called Reddit, a social media platform out of the US. You are very likely already familiar with this product, with the service, if you joined the stream. Yeah, please, guys, don't take it negatively. However, before we jump in, and we will quickly jump in because we want to go quickly through the details, through the analysis I already have prepared for you. Before that, a quick disclaimer as always in the upcoming minutes, and that's very important: no financial advice, no consultation, nothing in this direction. Make your own decisions, do your own due diligence. It's your own money, your own destiny, your own life. You need to live with this decision, yeah? So that's very important. Guys, so today we will talk about a company which is called Reddit. Let me see if it's working. Can be just a matter of time. So, okay, now it's working. It's working. Makes it a bit smaller maybe. Yeah, okay, you see some awkward sausage and some very likely German guy who's asking how you open this kind of crazy sausages without doing a lot of mess when you're cooking this food, yeah. So basically it's a social media platform, very text focused, interaction focused between most of the time humans. Maybe some bots are existing as well, who knows. Yeah, but even sometimes there are some videos included, photos of course, as you can see here. But what is very typical that out of each of those posts of the subreddits where they are located at, interactions between humans follow, which a lot of times are funny, but sometimes are very serious. However, for me, it's really, and I'm not that experienced in this, I need to say, but it convinced me. I was never a person of social media, never ever. But even more, I was impressed by the experience on Reddit with the users. I mean, you are anonymous there, which is special as well, compared to other platforms where you always have a profile and you express yourself, and sometimes you try to sell even something. That's not the target here. It's just about the content, very heavily content focused. In my opinion, it's really the safe harbor, the safe castle in times of AI, in times of where in which human interaction might be even more essential and crucial than in the past. Yeah, and the results are already live. You can see them. You can see them here. Yeah, Q4. And so I don't want to waste any time for you, and go through them. I mean, you can see those are the results. Yeah, 5th February. 2026. And as you know, when you are a loyal subscriber and follower to this channel, you know that I already prepared an Excel sheet and copied and pasted, hopefully correctly. No guarantee for any correctness here. Hopefully correctly. The essential data, which is for me important to this Excel sheet to have some analysis. And the result of it, you can see it here, is this Excel sheet, as I already teasered it. So let's go quickly through it. As I mentioned, I will not talk that much today about it. Maybe I can cover this whole stream in 30 minutes, 45 minutes would be amazing, would be a record actually. But let's see. Okay, guys. We start with revenue, and you see here I have revenue, top line growth, and bottom line growth, profit. And you can see here this quarter, or this quarter and the past quarter and the future quarter. And we see the same mirrored to the past year, basically. Yeah. So Q4 of 2024. Q3 2024, so the past quarter 1 year ago, and the afterwards the future quarter, which was Q1 2025. Yeah, so you see the full past of results and of the numbers which are essential for me. And again, we have revenue part and we have profit part. And so here we have 2 dimensions always, which is the actual result and the forecast, the outlook, the guidance whatsoever for the future, which was provided by the management. Yeah, guys, and I always compare to remove any seasonality the same quarter to the same quarter 1 year ago. So in this case, Q4 2025 to Q4 2024. Yeah, and this is what I will do later on with some other KPIs. Don't get nervous when you see all these numbers. Might be overwhelming, but there is hopefully reasonable structure behind it, and I assume we will quickly catch through them. Yeah, it's not that complicated, just a bunch of numbers, but not that complicated. Okay, guys, and so what was provided, of course, was in advance the forecast, basically provided by the analysts, but as well provided by the management, and that was on $660 million for this quarter, for the past quarter, Q4 2025, and they beat it by roughly $66 million, and the result was $726 million. Very, very strong, guys. It's almost 70% year-on-year growth. And what is very strong, I wanted to see not even see 700 million. I was already happy with 695 million. Why? Because I originally wanted to see more or less the same development between Q4 and Q3 2020-24. And you can see, I mean, past year, they developed quarter on quarter by 80 million. Now 141 million almost. Crazy. Strong stuff, guys. Very impressive. I see already some people joined the stream. Hi, Chales 4102. Hi, Nice Sports 1. Very glad that you joined. I'm not alone here. That's always very entertaining for me. And I here and there check the results. I check the chat of the stream, and then I reply on it. But I have only one small screen, so I go through the numbers, check it, go through the numbers, check it. If you have any hints, remarks, questions, uncertainties, something what you want to share, feel free. Yeah. So I'm always pleased about and like interaction with you guys. First question from Nice Sports 1. How often do I stream? I stream every quarter, and I guide live every earnings results of every company I'm a shareholder of, which is 5 companies: Hims & Hers, Grab, New, SentinelOne, and the newest one, my big bet for 2026, Reddit. Yeah, so each earnings quarter I will back it. Yeah, I'm working at the limit, on the minimum at the moment. Charlie is completely right. Maybe that will change in the future, but that is the momentum, the speed, let's say it like this, what I enjoy to do. Yeah, so this is how it feels like a hobby, you know. It's not about whatever. It's just for me fun and exciting to do this. Okay, let's go back to the numbers. So the current revenue result is absolutely fantastic and blow me out. What is not that nice, actually, from my perspective at least, is the forecast, which was provided by the management. And it's $600 million for the first quarter 2026. And yeah, it's lower than the the guidance, the outlook for this quarter by 60 million, as you can see. And that is not really surprising. It's seasonality, yeah. But what is a bit for me surprising, honestly, is that it's down by 60 million US dollars, yeah. You can see 1 year ago, yeah, it was again lower, the guidance, Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, but just by 28 million, yeah. So I want to see something like 632 million or 633 million. So exactly this 27.5 million difference, yeah, between the guidance before and the new guidance. That's not the case. It's more than double this size. I assume it is heavily sandbagging. Maybe there's something written. Maybe they will give some additional details to this in the later earnings call. But that is not that nice. However, I'm always prefer good expectations compared to current actual results, yeah. I always rate the future a bit higher than the present, yeah, when I talk about companies and their results. However, the current results are crazy strong in my opinion. I didn't check the aftermarket prices, but I assume, let's see, guidance, not everything is perfect on the first glance what I've checked, but I assume it's positive, it's up, yeah, but I will surprise myself later on by myself. But the beat is that heavy. You can see here, 1 year ago, just beat by 35 million, now 67 million, and again, 70% year-on-year growth is crazy strong. And again, I expect the guidance is sandbagging, so it's a bit difficult, yeah. Maybe a bit difficult to catch, and for the ones who are new to me, to this channel, I always give some evaluation in the design of the traffic lights, yeah, like positive, green, neutral, yellow, and red, negative, yeah. So in this case, is it the right color? This is the right color. I provided neutral one, yeah, because just again, the future is a little bit more essential for me than the present, even though the current result in terms of revenue is crazy good. Would prefer a little bit less good current results and a bit better guidance by the management. But again, I assume sandbagging is behind, so they provided a lower target than actually what will be the case, way lower. Because that was proven by the past. Now we check out what is going on with the profit. So the bottom line, the profitability. And here we can see forecast by analysts was 0.93 US dollars, and it blew out by 31 US dollar cents. My target was a bit more than 1 US dollar, which was already quite good, quite high. What did I do, or what was the reason why I put it on this level? I wanted to see the same difference between analyst expectations and actual result 1 year ago, and that was 11 US dollar cents. Now we have 31 US dollar cents, so no question about this. That goes straight green. Even you can wake me up in my deepest sleep and I would give this rating in this regard. Nice stuff. Here you can see as well how is it calculated, if you ever wondered how is it working on a gap basis. Okay guys, and now we dig a little bit deeper into the regular superficial numbers like revenue, but even in the detailed ones, like where is it from, what is the source in regional perspective, and then in perspective what type of revenue, yeah, like advertising or other revenue. And then we go deeper into the user or in the traffic by the users, yeah, and the ones who visited Reddit through apps, through websites, through whatever. Then we go talk about average revenue per unique, so per user basically, gross margin, so we talk about profitability, the costs, And last but not least, about the shareholder value, the stock-based compensation, so potential dilution. Yeah, how much worth is our stock or share, number of shares whatsoever. Yeah, so how high is the impact of dilution to it? Let's start with the revenue and start with US revenue. And we can see here, I always compare, again, I do it the same. Yeah, you can see the past 2 years, yeah, separated by this striped line here in the middle. And so business year 2025, business year 2024. And what I do actually is, again, to remove the seasonality, I always compare the growth numbers, past quarter, year-on-year growth, so Q3 2025 to Q3 2024. And I do compare it with the current results, so Q4 2025 compared year-on-year with Q4 2024. Yeah. So sounds a little bit awkward at the beginning, but I promise you it makes sense, or at least from my perspective, it makes sense. So we have the US revenue. Let's see what is going on with the US revenue, and it's actually accelerating. Yeah? So I think it kind of deaccelerated a bit in the past because, I mean, we're talking about, how much is it? We will see it in the user growth later on, but I think it was not accelerating that heavily. Yeah? But to see even it's accelerating quicker, yeah. And I mean, 67% was already strong. Now we're talking about 68%. Yeah, it's not a big bomb compared to past quarter, but we're talking about a premium level already. So that's for sure very, very strong. Yeah, it is very likely, but we will dig deeper into the numbers in a moment. It's likely not highly impacted by the numbers of users, more likely by the revenue per user, primarily advertising revenue. But let's see. However, that is straight green, straight positive. Yeah, let's see what is going on with the international revenue. Yeah, for sure as well, an all-time high, and we can see international revenue, like especially Europe. I'm as a German, I'm quite late to the party, but I'm there, guys. I'm there. Yeah, as a user and as an investor. But India, this kind of markets, Latin America, huge potential. And you can see it's accelerating. 74% year-on-year growth, crazy. Past quarter, this 78%. So even more green than the other one, because on the scale how they're working, it's very impressive from my perspective. Now we're talking about, again, the types of revenue. We have advertising, so ads, basically classic social media ads you can book, or other revenue. Other revenue is like the data licensing business, yeah, through ChatGPT, through Google, yeah. Not a big piece of the cake at the moment, but the cake is big in this regard, and the potential is big. And many out there hope it's getting utilized more heavily. I think there are even some lawsuits with other AI search engines. Yeah, let's see what will be the outcome of it. Yeah, but till then, I don't think there will be a big shift. But other revenues as well. Wait, I made the note. Data licensing already mentioned, but Reddit Premium, so premium subscription plans. To avoid ads for the users, yeah, so ad-free experience, and the user economy itself. So there are like virtual goods, like user avatars, icons, images, whatsoever. So this all is included in this other revenue. So advertising revenue is definitely the driver, and we can see here. I mean, it's quite obvious. Gap is not that big, like when we talk about the regional aspects, but still increasing. By a low number, it's increasing, and it's still working on a very, very high scale. So again, positive. What have we here with other revenue? And again, I already mentioned on an absolute number, not strong. Yeah, I mean, and it's actually a bit deaccelerating from 8.1 to 7.2%. Not big. I mean, again, you see how small this piece is, yeah? Here, 95% advertising revenue, and 5% other revenue. Yeah, so it is not, the engine has not even started. Yeah, at the end, if we are honest to each other, I mean, the margin will be heavy in terms of this revenue. I mean, margin in general of Reddit is strong. It will be very, very strong. But it's not the business at the moment. Maybe it becomes a business. Maybe it becomes a huge business. Who knows? Yeah, it's really like you are. I'm not sure how good this comparison is, but compare it to Tesla, and you have a solid income of source of revenue. Yeah, with your cars, with your automotive stuff, and then you have your Optimus Prime robots, or however it's called. I think just Optimus, right? And yeah, if the robots come, it can be a big hit. If not, at least in terms of Reddit, it's already quite stable source. Yeah, maybe they don't need it. It's just a bonus. It's the cherry on the cake, so the icing on the cake. However, so far not nice. And I will be strict here with my rating, and those who are experienced with me, they know that I'm very strict. If we, at the end here, have a rating of neutral, that's good for me. Yeah, I mean, I'm invested in 5 shares, and that proves me, okay, I'm on the right trip, on the right way. I want to stick to my investment. Yellow is good. Yellow is, from my perspective, already above the average when I compare my evaluations, my verdicts with other people. Yeah, okay. So we see, I mean, this is proving a bit my first intention of giving a blend, just a neutral rating on revenue, because, I mean, yeah, it's very bullish, very positive, yeah, but at least other revenue put it a little bit more into the yellow greenish color, yeah, and so I'm fine, and I think I leave the revenue side like it is, even if it's very strong from my perspective. Yeah? Okay, guys, let's go quickly on, because you see my condition is not getting better. So what we have here is the I mean, this whole part is about the users, the traffic, what is going on, yeah, the humans. And we have here, like, man, I wanted to check what is the right vocabulary for it, yeah. But when you put your oil into your car, yeah, when you have not have an electric vehicle, but you have a bus consumption vehicle, yeah, petrol engine driven one, you have this thing, you put it in, and then it gets like this. You know what I mean, yeah? And this is how I structured this. It's a bit different structured compared to the shareholder letter from Reddit itself. But I started with like the wide mass of users, weekly average user. Then we have the logged out, daily one, yeah, the logged out. So you make, if you're good, you create commitment and loyalty to the Reddit visitors. First of all, they come weekly, then they come daily, but they don't have an account maybe, yeah, and then they have account and they come daily. That's the best user. That's the premium one, you know, because when you have an account, you can, and best case is if you have even the app, for instance. But if you have an account, and I think that's important for Reddit, is actually to create content. I think that's different to other social media platforms. Yes, content is always important, but again, we have this this huge amount of data, of written data, and this potential future more relevant business case of other revenue of data licensing. And in general, finding Reddit a lot of times when you use search engines like Google search, you find it when there's a lot of traffic going on. So it's important people log in and not just read the stuff. That's good as well. But important is to create content, to react and interact with each other. And so this is the one Reddit and we as investors are looking for, in terms of uniques, of users. The U stands for uniques, but it's basically visitors, I think. So let's see what is going on. Here for me, I always check, or I rate the more detailed numbers, not the top number. However, you start with the top number and you can see growth is accelerating. Yeah, and keep in mind, with this illustration I tried to do, I hope you know what kind of device I'm talking about. But you need a good amount of weekly users to transfer them to daily users, to locked out daily users, and then to transform them, if everything is good, to the most loyal ones, the most valued ones, the locked in users. And that is great to see, because that's the fundament of the future from my perspective. And we have here past quarter year-on-year growth 22% and now 24%. It's accelerating, and it's important that we can work with all of this. It's nice to see, there are some more users from in the US than internationally. It's always nice to analyze that you can get out more revenue per user. All of this is nice, but from my perspective, social media driving factor is user activity and content creation. And you measure it primarily with user activity, at least as an investor. That is what we can see here. So we have the US, and let us see what is going on. And it seems like it's somehow popping up. It's re-accelerating. I mean, you never know. We should not forget, coming back to this illustration, it's not like one-way ticket, It's working both directions. So it might be the case that people getting less active and getting transformed from a daily active user to a weekly active user. It can happen. Maybe not even that rare. It's not even that unique or whatsoever. So we need to, who knows, But still, the number is year-on-year growth. You can see 6% past quarter, this quarter 12%. Let's assume it's good. Let's assume it's good, but keep in mind it can be in both directions. So at least here, just taking a look on this specific KPI, it's good. Now we check out what is going on with the weekly active uniques internationally. And here we have 37% growth to 44% growth, just 2% minus. Actually, I think it's still very, very strong. It's very likely, I expect it's the most strongest absolute number growth quarter on quarter. It is. But I mean, there might be a world where it's even accelerating on a relative scale, like more than 37% now, and that's not the case. So it seems like we reached a bit the peak. And therefore, I would just leave a neutral rating. But it's 34% is still very, very strong. Should not take it that negative. That's the reason. It's neutral, but it's a good neutral. Let's say it like this. Now we check out what is going on with the next level, the daily active uniques or users. Starting again with the absolute scale and heavier accelerating. You can see 24% compared to 27%. And now we check out, okay, where it comes from. Where is the music playing? Is it US? Is it international? Again, we reach already a good level in the US, so it's always a bit more likely that international is developing better. But see, guys, it's not just weekly, it's as well daily, that it's the locked out ones. That's improving in a good way. 7% past quarter year-on-year growth, now 13%, so very strong. But international actually as well dipping a bit, but almost 40% is strong. I will leave here as well the same rating like before. US accelerating by almost double the year-on-year growth number. And this one is on international, stays and keeps growing very, very strongly. Maybe even both should be green, but that's okay for me. That's okay. there's still some room for improvement. There's always some more, yeah. But now let's check out what is going on with this really high-end premium filet, entrecot, ribeye, wherever you are from, ribeye, entrecot, same likely, yeah. But the ribeye users, yeah, the ones which are really active as well, very likely as writers, yeah, as content creators, not just as silent visitors like me. Actually, I'm never writing this kind of stuff, but however, and you can see here. Okay, let's start as well maybe with the top number to keep the structure. And that is actually de-accelerating, yeah? I mean, just on the growth level, yeah? Growth momentum, 14% year on year past quarter, this quarter 10%, yeah? And we have as well here the same structure, US and international. Let's check out what is going on. Sorry, guys. And you can see, I mean, these are now next to the guidance, the revenue guidance for Q1, the first numbers I don't like to see. Because maybe what I told you, it's not a one-way ticket. It goes in both directions. Maybe Reddit gets a little bit more old-fashioned in the US, yeah? Because you can see, again, locked-in growth is deaccelerating, yeah? And internationally actually as well, yeah? Maybe the reason is that there are so many new users that they need a bit more time to, yeah, getting warm with everything, yeah? But it is both actually, yes, still record highs, not in the US, if it gets even down actually, but at least internationally, still record highs in terms of international, but both I don't like. Both results are not convincing for me, and I need to be strict here. And strict means leave red color. And you can see it as well. I mean, we have here the overall number of users, and again, on a daily level, yeah, daily active level, and it's increasing. The year-on-year growth, that's nice to see. That's good, yeah, that's lovely. I mean, that's the same what we have already felt here in this direction, and in general here as well. But what I want to see here as well is the ratio between logged in and logged out daily active users. And I'm just interested in this number actually. In a perfect world, as an investor of Reddit, you would love that you have a huge amount of active users, daily active users. All of them are logged in, getting perfectly tracked, can be tracked as well for the advertisement, to address the advertisement on point and provide best content for the users and make them loyal, and most important, make them active users. And you can see this ratio is getting down, yeah? It went already down past quarter, year on year by 2%. Now it's accelerating actually almost 4%. It seems like it's getting down since ever, since it's listed. You can here see 48%, 46%, 45%, 45%. Yeah, it's shrinking actually each quarter. I'm not sure what is behind this. I mean, maybe I need to get a little bit more experience with the material of Reddit, with social media companies. It's the first clean social media company I was ever invested in, guys. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to see that's increasing, or at least getting constant. That would be already for me neutral, or even maybe positive, to see, okay, they have reached the peak, yeah, or the valley actually. They reached the valley, and now it's constant or going up. But that's not the case, yeah. Okay, guys, let's getting a bit deeper and talking about how good they can monetize each of those uniques users, visitors. And we see here is really, that is really where so much potential is existing. Yeah, it reminds me to Nubank. Yeah, I'm new holder since more than 3 years, and very happy to be an investor in it, and very loyal to the company as well as an investor. And it's crazy how they can utilize their users. Yeah, and the combination, getting a lot of revenue money out of a user, and on the other hand have a low low cost structure, low cost ceiling. That's magic. And that's the case in Reddit, in terms of Reddit. Yeah, and that is what I utilize here basically. So you can see past quarter already 41% year-on-year growth, average revenue per unique user, and now 42, so accelerating. But let's check out what is going on with the same structure, US and international. So US, they keep it on a very high level with 53, 54%, very, very strong, very, very strong. And basically more or less the same internationally. They really start to get some money out of it. I mean, yes, the difference is huge. I mean, US, home of the capitalism, best customers you can have in the world, very likely in terms of selling stuff and getting money out of it, and make them loyal and almost addicted, for them, perhaps call it like this. And yeah, it's way higher. I mean, Reddit, the fundament of it was born Reddit in the US, so it has just some head start, yeah, and some gap between it. And yeah, there's a delay and internationalization. I think it will come closer and closer. Maybe never on this level, yeah, but both levels are not on level of Meta, for instance, of Instagram, yeah. Higher, I think, than Pinterest, higher, I think, than Snapchat, which is already very huge, if I remember correctly, but not on the level of of Meta. So we can see for sure here's some room for improvement, yeah. And I mean, as far as I know, I think Reddit management, for them, it's very important to don't touch too heavily and affect negatively the user experience, yeah. So it should mean Reddit, should not be full of advertisement and this kind of stuff. That's for sure the target to avoid. And I respect this very much because we're talking about a long-term game, yeah. I mean, there is not each day, somewhere in the world, a new social media platform getting born, yeah, getting funded, getting pitched, but never reach this global level like Reddit now has the chance to be on the stage and perform well. Poor guys. Sorry, man. So we should respect that they don't push it up like this, yeah, and say, we can put it full with advertisement here and there, everywhere something pops up and whatsoever. There's definitely some crazy room for improvement. I think one of the strengths of Reddit is that you have, because of the subreddits and the experience with the users, you can address very accurately, from my perspective, at the right point in time, the absolute fitting advertisement. I think that it's there. It's there. And there's definitely some room for improvement, what I have seen as a user, I must say. But you can see they're still growing like wheat. Yeah, it's still growing like wheat. And honestly, yes, it's not accelerating. And here I granted neutral rating when it was more or less on the same level or just decreased by 1 or 2%, 10% year-on-year growth. But in this case, it's accelerating so heavily and so quickly from quarter on quarter. Even if it is a year-on-year, of course, as well, even if it's Christmas season and best season for advertisement. However, it's that strong, I need to leave a positive rating. And gross margin, I mean, obviously, gross margin is very strong. It's decelerating. Last quarter, it was year-on-year growth 1%, and now minus 1% roughly. It's decelerating a bit, but when you check carefully the recent history of this quarter. So we have 91%, so it dropped really heavily, but 91%, and it went up, 92%. Yeah, I mean, again, part of it is seasonality, no doubt about it. But it's nice to see it's recovering quite solid, yeah. Not that strongly when you see it 1 year ago, like 2.5%. This quarter on quarter, just 1%. But again, it's the peak of this year, and it's the best. It's really the best of the past 2 years, yeah. But even though it's very high, no, I will leave it positive. You can't gross margin of 92%, no doubt. I must leave it, even if it could be even higher compared to 1 year ago, but 92%. I need to see it positive. Okay, we're coming closer to the finish line. And let's check out what is going on with the operating expenses, research and development, sales and marketing, and general administrative, yeah? And we can already see it's getting down, and we want to see it's getting down. And its good thing is 20% year on year is crazy good, and it stays on this level more or less. So it's good that it's negative, obviously. Costs should be getting reduced, not getting higher. And it's getting even lower. And you can see here, in terms of research and development, it's actually accelerating this positive negative development, yeah. Past quarter year on year 14%, now 17%. So all-time low by far. By the way, don't get irritated by those numbers. That was the IPO, so it's a bit affected by this IPO process a bit. One moment. Okay, good, guys. We really need to come to the finish and finalize this. However, so first one, research development, positive for sure. Now sales and marketing. I've heard they never did really a lot of promotion, but I've heard that I think last earnings call they mentioned something like in France they booked some or did some campaigns or whatsoever. And I like it actually, because they have the money, they have the capital, the resources, and I still think if I talk with the people around me, my social environment, or family or friends, or workmates, colleagues, most of them don't use Reddit, don't even know it, yeah? I'm not sure what it is about and everything, but Europe should be one of the future markets. And I know that Reddit is not the most easy accessible social media from my perspective. You need to read, and it's a little bit awkward structured from my perspective. It's not that user friendly. I think they can work on the UI as well, on the user interface and user experience, but it's okay. And I'm strict here. Because it's increasing, but actually it's okay. It's investment to the future. Let's see what is going on with general administrative, so staff costs as well. And you can see it's accelerating as well. Already year on year 7% down. Past quarter, now a bit even more, but roughly on the same level. So, oh wait, I need to charge. Okay, looks good. Lowest level so far, very low overall, very positive. So in terms of this overall, because I see this actually a little bit more investment, I would say this is neutral to positive, maybe even positive, the operative expenses, yeah. You can see that's clearly green. But we talk about all of this in a moment and fetch it up together, put it in a nutshell and see what is the final verdict. So now let's see what is really the bottom line. Yeah, what is really why we know why we're doing this, but we do this at the end to make profit as a company, yeah? We live in capitalistic world, we want to make profit. And now we want to see, okay, what is going on in terms of profitability? How sustainable and lasting is this business? And we can see net margin was already, profit margin was already growing year on year by 19%, heavy, crazy, and still 18%, yeah? All-time high. It's a little bit decelerating, but guys, crazy good rate. It's just natural. It's getting more flat, and I need to leave neutral rating here. But what is about really the cash flow in terms of free cash flow? And this as well, I mean, it's accelerating. 11% past quarter year on year, now 16%. So even a bit stronger when you ask me about the development, yeah. And love it. That's crazy. And I mean, if the company is that profitable and sustainable, of course they can turn down a bit the stock-based compensation, so paying your staff with stocks, with shares, yeah, and make them participate on the success. I mean, it's always good to keep to keep your staff committed and motivated, but nice as an investor to see the shares we are holding not getting diluted too heavily. So past year, quarter year-on-year growth, the acceleration and reduction actually was -7%, and now even quicker, -8%. Very nice. You can see more than 20% after the IPO, and now 11%, 12%. I mean, I've already have seen. Sorry, guys. I've already have seen lower share of revenue in terms of stock-based compensation at other companies, but it's okay for a growth company. It's okay for a profitable company. It's okay for a company who's providing us this stuff, and for sure positive. And then we should not forget what the management has mentioned, and that is a repurchase program of 1 billion in shares, basically, which was confirmed and approved, yeah. So that is a bonus, a good bonus. I mean, there's still, I have the feeling Reddit is still again, when I think about, okay, who in my environment knows about Reddit, who's using it. I think we are still in the early stage. Oh guys, I really need to finalize this. And they are already profitable, as heavily profitable, and they have so much capital. I mean, they have not that much liquidity actually, but they know they don't need that much, that they can start to repurchase because they think, the clear sign to the market, they think Reddit is cheap. Guys, Reddit is cheap. Yes, part of it getting utilized for stock-based compensation, what we talked a moment ago about, but that's a clear sign, and I love it. I love it. So, I mean, at the beginning, let me save it quickly. We talked about top line growth, revenue, neutral. And the current results are bomb, are heavy, are good. Entrecot. But the guidance, sandbagging a bit low. I hope it's sandbagging. But I need to be strict here, neutral rating. Neutral to positive, but neutral. I leave it neutral. Profit, no question. That's a money machine at the moment. Almost surprising for me, honestly. You always hope for the best, and that was breakthrough for me. Strong. Green. Very green. Very, very green. Here, this revenue is the stuff we already talked about. Working well in US and internationally. This user part, if I must give it one color, one rating, I would leave it in neutral. Neutral to red actually, which sounds a little bit more negative than it is, but Again, I'm not sure what is behind it, but I would love to see more interactive users, more locked in daily active uniques. And that is not what I see. If they can make this changing somehow, the status, that would be for me really as well a very bright and positive sign. And that's not the case at the moment. However, this one is neutral to negative, yeah. And then everything else here, neutral, positive basically. Everything. Like really the revenue per user, how to utilize it, monetize it, the profitability itself, the cost level, stock-based compensation, how they take care for us and not dilute us too much. And on top, the repurchase program. And guys, now I do something what I really rarely do. Because most of the time, those are for me the defining aspects. I always check as well the sub numbers, sub grades, the company specific details, not just revenue and profit level. But most of the time, the color which results out of this is my final verdict. In this case, I'm pushing out the repurchase program and have really that strong numbers that no matter what the market is telling, just my opinion, guys. Again, no guarantee for anything. Yeah, that's no financial advice or whatsoever. But it makes me feel very happy. These numbers, even if not everything's perfect in shape, but the numbers which are green are heavily green, and the numbers which are negative are still not so heavy negative. It's not like, oh God, we are doomed negative. It's like, yeah, for sure some room for improvement, and we're talking about a high level that sometimes things feel more negative than they should, but then we have this repurchase program on top. Guys, I have no choice. Maybe I have a choice, but in this case, and I love to do it because I still think I was very strict about everything and objective about all the numbers, but I really think it is very positive. It is very positive. It's a close catch. It's a close catch, I must say. But I really, if this guidance would be higher for next quarter, it would be straight green for me. Even the locked in number is not perfect, but there's always something not in perfect shape. Even if you check out the best NVIDIA earnings results, there's always some concerns, some risks, some risks, some downsides. But that's great. And I mean, almost none, even Palantir, even Meta with good results this quarter. All of them are struggling. Alphabet, yeah. I can think about, because the market tanked heavily in the past days, and I bought a lot of new shares actually. I'm currently invested with 40,000 euros before earnings. I'm not sure what's going on, but 40,000 euros, not sure, 300 shares or whatsoever. I need to check it out. It's very much money for me, guys. Don't worry, I'm not rich or whatsoever. It's a lot of money. But I'm convinced, kind of. And that proves it for me. And no matter what the market says, might be down after market. I will check it in a moment with you, and I check as well the chat, the comments. But for me, that's positive stuff. And enough what I've expected and even more. And again, guidance, if it's down, then maybe because of the sentiment of the overall vibes which are existing in the markets currently, software business getting hammered, and potential wars, general uncertainty, this Epstein files, whatsoever, all of this. But I'm satisfied. I'm positive about this. Yeah, and now let's check out what is the market price. I'm very interested, man. Ey, Goldkrone am Start, ey, oder what? Matten, Digga. Nice, man. What a timing. Okay, guys, let's check out what is going after market. If you ask me, it's so heavy and so dumb to say something in this direction, to suggest it. But my suggestion about aftermarket development is, oh, it's so difficult. It's so difficult. I think it's 4%. 4%. On other days it would be more, but I think guidance is hitting it, and maybe it's even negative. I could think really about something like minus 10%, even minus 15%, because of some awkward stuff reasons. You never know. What I don't recognize at the moment. But I think it's up 4% with the tendency even more. Okay, let's check out what is going on. Oh, please don't make me cry. Hey, 2%. Guys, it's just 50% of what I've pitched, yeah? But ask yourself, a lot of you would very likely call it for more, yeah, like 5%, 10% whatsoever. Oh, now guys, it's coming. Yeah, let's see what they will communicate in the earnings call. Has a big impact as well on what is going on here. It's growing. Nice. Love it. Let's see first market reactions on Seeking Alpha, a platform which is one of the few platforms I'm using and I definitely recommend. First market reactions here in the comment section, and then I check your comments, and then I'm out. I need to go to bed, get some medicaments and drink some tea and sleep well. Huge earnings. Market doesn't care. Whoa, beating insane expectations. Lays down a monster. Okay, everything good. Upgrades, Q1 guidance, announced 1 billion buybacks. Yeah, guidance? Don't know. Q1 guidance, I'm not convinced, as I mentioned. Self-cleaning rational, if you have cash, buy Reddit and just wait till it comes back to, yeah. And I see it the same way, as I mentioned. I mean, who knows what will happen tomorrow, in the next weeks, if the whole market, because of some macroeconomic developments, dips. Here Reddit will be not secure or out of this development, yeah. But was strong, man. Yeah, 600 million. Yeah, I share this. Yeah, season. Yeah. But no. I still think it's a little bit low. Yeah. I see it the same way. I'm not sure what they will communicate at the earnings call currently, which is going on very likely, which is live. But really the guidance is for me as well the big question mark. Okay guys, and now I quickly check what you have left here in the comment section. Hi San Diego Dad, love you too, colleague. I hope you love Reddit more than me, that's important. And other people. I know this is Reddit earnings stream, but the HIMS news were overwhelming today. Yeah, you will see if you check out my how is it called? Here where how is this? The area where I share my post, the post section, yeah, in YouTube. I always update you about my own portfolio. You can check it out, and about my purchases and my sell-offs of stocks. And when you follow this, in the next days, at the weekend, I will update them, and you will see what kind of mess I did with Hims and Hers. I mean, I can tell you, yesterday I sold the whole position of Hims and Hers, and today I bought back some of it. Yeah, it was not worst case because, as you know, it was 20% up, and now it left or ended the day with minus 5% or something like this range. But yeah, heavily. But for me, a very convincing news what happened with the GLP-1 pills, Wegovy-like pills at Hims and Hers. New York Sports, no, I'm doing not earnings call, never. I can't add too much value to it. Will he listen and broadcast the earnings call? No. Are you listening to the earnings call, Michael Berrigan? No, I don't do it. I'm very sorry for it. One reason is because I'm, again, a little bit ill, a little bit sick, as you recognize. But I actually never do this. I think there are others are more experienced to do this, and I don't think I can add that much. Most of the people who stream it just sit silently next to it, these influencers, and add nothing to it. And at the end, they tell the same what they could tell an hour ago. So I leave you alone with the live earnings calls. And maybe I add some value at the next earnings stream, live stream, which will be in case of Reddit in 3 months. Yeah, next quarter, Q1 2026, we will see what is going on with the 600 million guidance. But in terms of the other companies, I'm, and maybe you as well, are shareholder of, not that far in the future. Oh, fuck. Guys. So we can see here, next earnings call will be next week, Wednesday, 11th of February. Grab. Then it goes on with HIMS. New and finish will be done with cybersecurity out of the US, Sentinel-1, 12th of March, very likely. That is the schedule. That's the timeline, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I hope you will join as well in the future. And if you appreciated what I did here, and it entertained you a bit at least, feel free to like the stream, subscribe to YouTube, follow me as well on Instagram, leave some love. I appreciate this makes my day a bit nicer. And again, final words. In the past 1 hour roughly, that was not financial advice, no consultation, no guarantee for correctness of the provided data. Make your own decision, your own due diligence, own research, your money, your life, your destiny. Yeah, important. Thank you very much for the interaction in the chat, and looking forward to talk to you the next time. Cheers and bye-bye.
A sense of capital.